Hello tacticians! It's time for another theoretical mythic journey, and I noticed I was only missing one hero from the Black Legion, so it kinda made sense to me to go for that one and be done with another faction. And that means today's video is on Volk, who'd relatively recently been reworked to be tougher, more focus firing, spamming more hex effects, and probably most importantly, more buffable, which I will happily take advantage of. Mission 1. Defeat 4 enemies on fire hexes with Volk in one turn. One of the few missions that were made easier by the Onslaught revamp, because we can now set our own fires using the Forge Fiend there, and all the instinctive behavior enemies will be rushing right into them, lining up for Volk's active to brrrr them all down. Like this.
The first mission of Volk's mythic journey should be for him to defeat 4 enemies on fire hexes in one turn, and I think Onslaught is gonna be the best way to do that, except this particular map is gonna suck horse dick for it. So what am I gonna do about it? Well, first I'm gonna put Volk over here on the bridge, where I can make sure he will have good angles on stuff, considering his range of 3. And then I kinda need to get lucky with the enemy's positioning, but that should be doable. So using Forge Fiend, now I'm gonna set the fires here and bait stuff out onto Rodbone, and this should end with nice 3 enemies on fires. So that means that I can set these 2 on fire, and now if I use Volk's active on this one, that should kill all 4 of them, well, 5 of them, whatever. There, done. With a little help from Abaddon buffing Volk, possibly. And, well, that really should be the mission done, so I just need to finish the Onslaught stage, and I should be able to move on.
Mission 2. Deal 9000 damage with Volk in one turn. This mission is where Volk, newly having the heavy weapon trait and his active being buffable, comes into play. Just find a good arena match with enemies that will stick together and won't quite reach Volk in round 1, which shouldn't really be a problem with the current popularity of the rapid assault teams. Bring a few ability buffers like Thaddeus, Abaddon, Farsight or even Trajan, and let the magic happen.
The second mission of Volk's mythic journey supposedly requires him to deal 9000 damage in one turn, which should be quite possible in an arena where the enemy's speed will line up nicely, such as this one, I hope. Just pre-position Volk so that he doesn't need to move on his next turn, because he now has the heavy weapon trait, and ideally buff him with Thaddeus or possibly with Abaddon. I suspect bringing Trajan may also be nice, and sadly the enemies here haven't lined up as nicely as I had hoped them to, and this arena isn't good terrain-wise because Volk cannot be parked on high ground, which would have dealt some extra damage, but maybe Volk's active will still deal enough. Brrrt. So let's do the tally. Okay, Karn lost almost 6000. Lucian, I'm gonna call that 3000, and with that the mission is actually done. And Carrion lost also 3000, so that's something around 12,000 damage. And indeed, Volk's mission is done. Well, now I just need to actually win the arena and everything will be fine. Boom, you die. Next, I'm gonna do this. And this. Okay, I was hoping that would have got Karian too. With some luck, he will now finish burning off. And Rebus is active, should give me some much needed safety from whatever is coming next. And that's roughly how you can get Volk's second mission done. Moving on.
Mission 3. Overkill 100 enemies with Volk. Did anyone say Fall of Cadia stage 67? I definitely heard someone say Fall of Cadia stage 67, which indeed is one of the stages I would recommend to complete this mission in one go. Just make sure you have something inspiring to watch, because this mission takes a while and the gameplay is dull as feck.
The third mission of Volk's Mythic journey is supposedly for him to overkill 100 enemies, and as usual for Chaos Heroes, I like to do missions like these here in Fall of Cadia 67. Just pre-position. Something like this should do. And pass a few turns so that the 5 Voxcasters fill the map with summons who act before the Voxcasters do, cock-blocking themselves off from rushing in your kill zone, pretty much. There, I'm gonna pass one more turn. And now I think it should be okay to start killing stuff with Volk. Your only worry here will be not dying of boredom, as you do this about 100 times, and maybe occasionally keeping an eye out on whether somebody needs healing. I would also recommend you find something interesting to watch on YouTube or elsewhere as you are doing this, and well, hopefully by the time your finger or cock or whatever you are using to entertain yourself falls off, you will be done with the mission. Now, I think I've demonstrated this sufficiently, so I'm just gonna clear the stage and hopefully move on.
Mission 4. Defeat 2 overwatching enemies with Volk in one turn. This mission reminded me of the good old times in the several Fall of Cadia stages, in which you start under Overwatch from 6 last cannons, where back then you could use Volk's active to suppress all of them on turn 1. Well, I'm pretty sure those still exist and the mission can be completed there, but I went for Fall of Cadia 15, the Katskoden stage.
The fourth mission of Volk's Mythic journey is for him to defeat 2 overwatching enemies in one turn, and that's kinda what Katskoden's stage in the Fall of Cadia, the normal one, is all about. Just put Volk on this deployment hex and use his active on the 3 last cannons in there, and you're done. Alright, now let's see if I can beat this stage. So far it's taking Herculean effort, but I think I can manage. Now, hopefully, yes, good, I managed to stay out of Katskoden's range, so he didn't completely clap my cheeks. And I'm not sure what the best move will be now. I think that Rodbone may be able to take out this Cadian. Now, if Volk crits, he may be able to finish off Katskoden, and he didn't krill, but I think he high rolled, so I will take that. Next, I think taking out the Voxcasters is absolutely essential, so I'm gonna start making my way there. And even though putting Toth on the wires is risky, maybe his active will score a kill. Good. I managed to take the hardest hits on Volk's Terminator armor. Did I say Volk or Toth? I meant Toth. No. It's so exhausting and so exciting that I have a hard time of keeping track of who is who. Anyway, somehow I managed to clear the stage, and this is the best way, I think, the most reliable one to deal with this mission. Moving on.
Mission 5. Deal 150,000 damage with Volk. Did anyone say Fall of Cadia stage 67 again? I definitely heard someone say Fall of Cadia stage 67 again. But this time I will send you to the Elite Fall of Cadia stage 29 instead, because there you can also get a reliable stream of Cadians with convenient positioning, and they are bigger, so you need to kill fewer of them. But even then, some alternative entertainment is still recommended.
The fifth and final mission of Volk's Mythic journey supposedly requires him to deal 150,000 damage. And I'm gonna do that here in Elite Fall of Cadia 29, unless I am mistaken about the stage's number, because the Cadians here are much bigger, and the summons have, let me peek, 1100 HP. That means that I'm only gonna need something like 150 of them, rather than whatever, 400 or something that it would be in the normal stage 67. And the positioning here is kinda easy. Just do something like this for the ability to heal whoever, and eventually when the map fails, the Cadians will start popping out right next to Volk, which makes sure that you simply will not be able to scare the Voxcasters away and will give you an infinite influx of enemies for Volk to smash. Okay, I think this turn is when Volk is starting to get playmates. Yep, oh, that's one. That's two. Yeah, okay, I'm bored of this now, so I'm gonna clear the stage. I'm sure I demonstrated sufficiently. And yeah, I forgot what I was trying to say, or whether I even had a point. But I think you can see how this stage is kinda convenient for this mission. Very low mental effort. You can probably watch some high quality Japanese movie while doing the mission there. Potentially even climax once or twice before you get done. Hey, it all depends on your testicular fortitude, I guess. There, and that's the stage cleared out, and that means I can officially move on.
And that's apparently roughly how I will complete my Volk's Mythic journey. Sometime when and if I get the 400 or so missing shards from random pulls, since for the foreseeable future I will be working on the various Labu bitches, because Labubu is the shit now. But Volk certainly has his uses too. He's part of one of my stable Guild War attack teams and often fits well in all power teams in legendary release events, which makes him okay in my book. And with that, you've made it to the end of this video, and I should probably thank you for watching it. So, thank you for watching it. I hope it helped you, or maybe even entertained you, and that I will see the face only your mama could love in front of the screen at the next one too. Kaurin, out.